told you, today I am going to talk, and later on at the end we will have a discussion part about how we can boost working workplace performance by understanding what is the intersection of emotional intelligence and leadership. So how actually can we help employers increase their productivity and performance by actually helping them or giving them emotionally intelligent leaders, or how emotionally intelligent leaders help employers with their performance and productivity. Why does this topic matter? So, why does emotional intelligence and the relationship of it with leadership actually matters in workplace performance? Emotional intelligence is actually the key to effective leadership. And what we mean about this is something that we are going to discover in the other slides today. Usually, from researches and studies, it is shown that high emotional intelligence leaders actually inspire teams, resolve conflicts, and enhance workplace productivity and performance. Some of the goals of today's presentation is to understand what is the role of emotional intelligence in leadership and how emotional intelligence can help leadership into increasing workplace performance and overall productivity. And of course, learn actionable strategies how you can boost workplace performance. But by trying to understand how you can boost workplace performance, we need to understand how we can boost our own performance and productivity. So, we are going to learn some strategies or some key factors on where we need to take into consideration in order to help ourselves into boosting our emotional intelligence, leadership factors, and overall productivity. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is one person's ability to recognize, understand, and manage their own emotions and influence of emotions of others. So it's basically the emotions part that you get not only in understanding, evaluating, and recognizing and managing your own emotions, but as well as the influence of these emotions in others and vice versa. What are some of the components of emotional intelligence? When we talk about emotional intelligence and its component, we usually have in mind five components or five factors that actually may influence emotional intelligence. First of all is self-awareness, and self-awareness is related to understanding your emotions. If we don't understand, recognize, and manage our own emotions, then we cannot understand what is the influence that this may have into other people's emotions. Second is the self regulation. And the self regulation is something that is relating with managing your emotions or managing our emotions. First, we understand and then we try to manage them. Thirdly, is motivation. What is motivation? Motivation is the ability or capability to stay driven and positive in different situations that may come during your life, in your work, or in the work environment, in house environment, etc. Being empathic, it's another component, and being empathic is putting yourself into the other's shoes. So understanding how others are feeling, putting ourselves into the other person's shoes in a situation to understand how they are feeling and why they are reacting like that. And the last one is the social skills component. So, social skills, we all know that are skills that help us for building relationship and teamwork. Now we go to the leadership part. What are some of the key traits of effective leaders? Some of the key traits of effective leaders are, of course, the vision. So, what kind of vision do these leaders share? Or what kind of vision do they have? Communication. Communication, as we have said also in other lectures, and as we say all the time, is the key to success because it's a key component to everything that we do. If we don't communicate, then we cannot understand and manage either emotions, situations, feeling, and much more. Adaptability. Adaptability is responding to change with agility. So we cannot respond to every situation the same. We need to find the right approach that needs to be done for that kind of situation. Empowerment, it's another key trait of effective leaders and is related to inspiring and uplifting team members. And the last one is emotional intelligence, for which we are also talking on today. And emotional intelligence is actually a key factor or a key trait that is related to effective leadership. And why is that? Let's talk about some types of leadership. Um, can you hear me until now? Well, okay. Okay,
Everything is
great.
fine so far, yes.
Okay, okay, great. So now I'd like to talk about some types of leadership. I will also send you the slides, and you can later get to also see them in details because now I have just write them in bullets, and we are going to discuss a little bit further. So, types of leadership. What are some, let's say, characteristics or some types of leadership that we see or that usually leaders use? Autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership is related that the leader make decisions independently and is effective in crisis but may lower sometimes morale. Later, we have democratic leadership that is related to encouraging team inputs in decision and promotes creativity, but has actually slower decision making. Transformational leadership. This kind of leader inspires teams to reach their potential, boosts innovation, but may lead to burnout sometimes. Then we have transactional leadership. This kind of leader focuses on rewards and penalties for goals. So it has kind of reinforcement for goals, and but actually uses a clear structure but limits creativity. Servant leadership. This leader prioritizes team growth and well-being and builds trust but may struggle under pressure. Then we have laissez-faire leadership. It actually gives autonomy to team members and encourages creativity, but a negative component is that it risks lack of direction. Then we have the charismatic leadership. It relies on charm and inspiration. It motivates but risks over reliance on the leader. Situational leadership adapts style based on the test and team needs and is flexible, but it requires high emotional intelligence. Bureaucratic leadership, it strictly follows rules and procedures, ensures consistency, but discourages innovation. Visionary leadership, it focuses on long-term vision and inspiration and motivates team but may overlook short-term needs. So these are some types of leadership. I know that they are a lot, but in the end, we can go also once again in them and ask what do you think that from these types of leadership, what do you think that which type has the tendencies to be more high emotional intelligence, but this is a test that we may do at the end. Now, how emotional intelligence actually enhances leadership? By developing high emotional intelligence, you try to build trust and rapport with teams because you care about your emotions and eventually you also care about the emotions of others. So, in order to understand and recognize these emotions, so about the self awareness, you need to build trust and a rapport with teams. It improves conflict resolution and decision making. So, this is something related to self regulation, promotes a positive and motivating work culture, as we said in the components that is something is also motivation, and enhances the ability to navigate stress and challenges. What are some outcomes of integrated emotional intelligence with leadership? So, what are some of the positive impacts when we try to integrate emotional intelligence with leadership? First of all, as we said also in the title, that was boosting workplace performance. So, one of the uh, mostly or well-known outcome is the higher employee satisfaction and retention. So, and whether we have a higher employee satisfaction and retention, then eventually we have higher productivity and a better performance. Increased productivity and performance, stronger collaboration and teamwork. If we have more satisfied employees that want to come to work and that they increase productivity and performance, or we help them how to increase productivity and performance, then of course they are more willing to collaborate and to work with the team. And of course, reduced workplace conflicts, because if we have satisfied and productive employees that actually want to work because they see that their leaders or supervisors or the overall company culture is trying to help them find their fullest potential, then of course we will have some reduced workplace conflicts. What are some steps on boosting actually emotional intelligence? As we said in the components, self awareness and self regulation is very, very important. So, also, I'd like to start by saying that the first step in boosting emotional intelligence is by actually practicing self reflection. And by practicing self reflection, we mean that it's starting to recognize your emotions and triggers. Why is it important that we start to recognize our emotions and triggers? Because by recognizing ma- our emotions and triggers and by trying to manage them, then it is easier for us to cultivate empathy. It is easier for us to understand, to put ourselves into other person's position and to understand other person's perspective. Enhancing communication, as communication is one of the key factors that is influencing everything. It is very important to practice active listening and clear expression and managing stress. Uh, It's important. And managing stress can be done by using some mindfulness or relaxation techniques, or using some techniques to find a work and life balance. How can we become an effective leader? And these are some tips or advices for every of you. Either you are a leader now or you expect to be a leader in the future. First and foremost is to set a clear vision and goal for your team. And I would not only say for your team, but as well as for yourself. So, first, you set a clear vision about yourself and what do you want from your team. And not only the goals, but the challenges and how you are going to work into this. If you do not get a clear vision and goal, then you cannot express that to your team. Be open to feedback and continuous learning. If we aren't open for feedback and continuous learning, but firstly, let's talk about feedback. If we aren't open for feedback, then we cannot find the where are the areas for improvement. And later, if we find the areas for improvement, then we can use the continuous learning. Things are changing all the time, and we as people cannot know everything. As things are changing, also approaches are changing, also styles of working are changing. And in order for us to find the best approach for our team and for ourselves, we need to be open to feedback, whether positive or negative, and of course, continuous learning. It is very good that we foster inclusivity and collaboration. We cannot do the things alone, and if we are a lot of people, then things go better because we share ideas, we share work, and collaboration is as the key as communication. And lead by example with integrity and emotional intelligence. It is said from studies that leaders with high emotional intelligence tend to have more collaborative team members with each other, and of course team members with higher satisfaction, productivity, and higher work performance in the workplace. Here we have a case study, but it is better to do that in the end, Dr. Valci. There are some questions that we can discuss with students.
Yes, but because of limitation of time, actually, we only have 20 more minutes to go.
Okay.
I would
Yes,
strongly
yes. Okay.
recommend we wait until the end, please.
Okay, okay. Let's go till the end, and later on we can
All right.
continue. Okay, so here you may find some assessments that you can use, or some quizzes that you may use to understand how. Sorry, to understand a little bit about emotional intelligence and leadership, or to understand how much emotional intelligent are you. So as we go to the till the end, I'd like to now say some strategies for growth. So how can you actually use some techniques to to develop emotional intelligence and its components. For self awareness, you can keep a journal of daily emotions and triggers. To build empathy, you can practice active listening during conversations and try to also understand other person's emotions and how you would react, for example, in that moment. For motivation, you can set personal goals and celebrate small achievements. Everything starts from small achievements, and every time is the best time for following your areas for improvement. To enhance social skills, I'd say that you can attend workshop or practice some team building activities. And for leadership development, you can seek mentorship or leadership training programs that can help you enhance your leadership skills. Um, Finally, I'd like to say that emotional intelligence um, and leadership go hand in hand with each other together. So by using these together, they can actually transform workplace performance and culture for good. And small plays in emotional intelligence growth can actually lead to significant leadership impact. Thank you for your time.